Okay, we're back for more of these background order. Avalon Bay, continuing on, section 16. Now on to Gloucester, second part. Good morning. I'm sorry to call you all here so early when I know you're still exhausted from yesterday's battle, but I'm afraid this couldn't wait. Last night, Artoria and Soapbox received invitations from Lady Miriam of Gloucester to attend Ferium, a fairy ball, to be holding soon. So, we've been invited to a fairy ball? Holding a ball now, huh? She's up to something, that much is for sure. Hang on, you said this fairy ball is called Ferium? What exactly is that anyway?
Allow me to explain. I've always wanted to go to the ball, so I know all about them. Ferium, a moonlit gala that every fairy in Britain dreams of attending. Every fairy who had done something impressive that year, like Clan had, is invited to speak about and be celebrated for their accomplishments. Attendees get to enjoy never before seen scenery, never before eaten cuisine, and never before heard music. And then, to cap it all off, they decide on the fairy of the year, the one who stands atop fairy society and shines more brightly than any other. Isn't that right, Artoria? There's not a fairy in Britain who doesn't dream of attending Ferium, right? I guess. Maybe. I suppose there was a time I dreamed about it myself. Wait, does this mean we're going? Because I was kind of hoping I'd never have to go to another Ferium if I could help it.
Jesus fucking car noises outside. Alright. Huh? We're going back to Gloucester? Oh, absolutely. An invitation like this is still an opportunity for us. This Miriam lady is practically offering you her bell on a silver platter. That's right. This is Miriam's way of making her intentions known to both the Queen and the Child Prophecy. It makes perfect sense that the Lord of Gloucester would hold a ball from time to time, and that goes double for one with a long, storied history like Ferium. Though, of course, Artoria and Soapbox will hardly be her only guest. I doubt Morgan will step away from her throne. Satab74, thanks for following. I doubt Morgan will step away from her throne, but she'll almost certainly send a delegation. At minimum, Tristan and Lancelot will be among them.
Right, of course. Lancelot always wins Fairy of the Year.
That little blue bitch, huh? I'd love a little payback while we're there, but Gloucester is bound by Miriam's rules. So no one from any faction can fight at this ball, right? That's right, which makes this a perfect opportunity. Under ordinary circumstances, we'd never be allowed into Gloucester now that we defy the Queen by ringing 2 bells and defeating Woodrose. But for this occasion, we can proudly attend the ball as the distinguished guest. And once we're inside, well, sneaking around and finding secret rooms, it's what you do best. Right, Artoria?
Yeah, I knew it.
Time to finally put those shady spells of yours to good use.
Did you have to say it like that?
Then it's settled. I'll ready your carriage right away. The ball is being held tonight, so we'll need to hurry if we're going to make it to Gloucester by evening. What was Miriam thinking? I don't know. How you doing, Zatab? Okay. Heading to Gloucester. to hear.
まだまだ未熟者ですが頑張ります。
目に
負けないぞ。
目を背けないで。それは絶えず見た滅びの夢。最果てにありながら鳥が明日を迎えましょう。ロードレスキャメル。
Yeah, he kind of looked like it. Air dive.
早炊きですよ。早炊きですよ。軽めのうちに革命戦行きます。
目にいい判断です。そういいでしょう。私の足元で許しを乞いなさい。落ちよロードレスキャメロット。
Fucking large moors. I wonder how I can get.
手に入らないすべて見つめます。よろしい。
身の内に行くのいけないぞ。
よく言いました。
そこです。
死になさい。
熱を帯びなさい。
あまりに表せない。よくいい判断です。逃がすものから内側から壊れアコーラ多くの欲望。
I hate that large form. Alright.
ありうる誇りにかけて来たれ。
Stupid card deck.
最果ての島罪の都最後の竜は我が胸に集う円卓の守護者たちラウンド・オブ・アバロン。
そういいでしょう。私の足元で許しを乞いなさい。落ちよロードレスキャメロット。
Done. Too easy.
今回はうまくいきました。
What's next? Phew! We made it! Our second time in Gloucester. Retrofit and Percival are waiting outside the city limits, so we don't have to worry about them. But, unfortunately, we only have 2 invitations. One for Artoria, and one for Soapfrost. And each invitation only allows for a single +1. So, who should go with them? Da Vinci and I make the most sense. We both met Miriam. Having you around would be helpful, since words hit harder than swords here. But, knowing you, I'm also sure you'll have no problem sneaking in anyway. Naturally. I'm flattered by your trust, Muramasa. I know a number of Gloucester's fair ladies, so I'm sure I can find one in need of a kingly companion. Fine with me. You guys have fun. I'm just gonna spend some time in the city.
Damn, I just feel like this means I won't get to go to the ball after all. But that's okay. That just means I have a great opportunity to visit Count's shop. Come with me, Happy Cat. Count Pepperard gave me a letter of introduction to his shop. Here waiting at Londinium. He said we should go and have a good time together. He's so considerate, don't you think? Oh, the Count's... Oh, the Count's store, huh? I guess that sounds kind of interesting. Okay, let's go. I wasn't really looking for fun tonight, but it doesn't sound bad. Wonderful. Glad you're both getting along so well. Now, moving on. What should we do about little Miss Coldfeet over here, Soapfrost? Muramasa and I'll bring her there, whether she wants to go or not. Guess that's all we can do, huh? I got the left side. You get the right. Ah, no! Don't make me do this! I don't want to go to the ball dressed like this! I don't want to run into anyone I know! You're a king, right, Oberon? You can go and ring the bell. Just don't forget to bring me a souvenir. Something tasty would be nice.
Cut that out! No proper child prophecy will ever say that. Do you know how many aspiring Cinderellas would give their IT for invitation to this ball? Deal with it. Oberon, was that you doing the wicked stepmother? I'm sorry. I just didn't expect Artoria to be so stubborn about this. Do you have some ball-related trauma? No. Did you get mistaken for a server or something at one before?
Don't be silly. Of course I've never had anything that embarrassing happen to me. It's just, you know, I'm basically the face of the Round Table Army now, so I don't want to go there undressed.
Oh, is that all? Well, don't worry then. Nothing better or more formal for a warrior to wear than their battle dress. Then again, if you prefer, you could always have Sopras go on ahead. But I doubt you'll be able to find him again later. There would just be you and Muramasa at the ball in that case. Okay then, I'll get going.
Okay, I'll go already. Just don't leave me behind.
Ball joke. Right, thank you for that voice acting. It's beautiful. Yep, this is amazing. I never would have thought there was such a fancy ballroom next to the auction house. It's a Fey domain with a Fey domain. A top-notch otherworldly reality marvel the likes of which you rarely get to see. You can tell since the inside of this building is clearly bigger than the outside. Whatever it is, it's damn impressive. If this place is any indication, Miriam might just be the best damn gardener I've ever seen. Hell, the view's so great it even got Artoria to calm down.
I'll have you know this is my second time here, so it's not like I was entranced by the scenery. I was mostly wondering why Miriam hasn't bothered to greet us after she invited us.
What? Artoria's pissed now. Once she gets over herself, she really is a dependable ally. Huh, you're right. Now that you mention it, I don't see her anywhere. I would have thought she'd be the first to use the child prophecy to liven things up at her part. May I have your attention, distinguished guest? On behalf of Lady Miriam, the owner of this beautiful building, I would like to apologize for her tardiness. I've been told she should arrive in about 1 hour, so please relax and enjoy yourselves in the meantime.
So Miriam isn't even here yet? And there's no sign of Oberon either? What do you think, Sopras? Should we just go sneak into the bell tower now?
Guess we may as well. Looks like we got a new arrival. Oh wow, all the fairies are making way for it. Oh, Vargas. Damn. Sexy outfit. Oh boy. Hey, look. Who's that girl next to Aurora? Aurora's an exceptional beauty, but that fairy next to her is something else.
I see. So you go for the prim and proper young lady types, huh, Muramasa?
Got nothing to do with what I like. I'm just being objective here. It's Barrow and Tamlin Tristan. Yeah, that tracks. Of course, Morgan's daughter's here. So that's Miriam's game, huh? She sure is a vindictive little brat, isn't she? Or maybe she's a perfectionist? One who's clearly not going to be satisfied until she downright obliterates anyone who defies her. Like things, I guess that was the last of the big guest. Artoria?
Oh, no, it's nothing. I was just kind of wondering if Knock Knock Riaba was here, that's all. Thank goodness she's not. Now I won't have to hear all her snide remarks about how she's so much better than me. Good day, Child Prophecy. Congratulations on your victory of Londinium. Coral! I'm so sorry. I hope I wasn't being too loud. Oh gosh, I was, wasn't I? I'm sorry, I'm from the country, so I'm totally out of the place here. Still, it's nice of you to come say hello. I know how you feel, but it's okay. There's nothing to be nervous about. Miriam's cast a spell on this ballroom that hides attendees' faces from anyone who doesn't already know them. So please, relax. You don't have to worry about anyone you don't know seeing you here. These kinds of parties don't happen every day. It's best to enjoy them when you can. I see. Thank you, Cora. You know, I have to say...
You look like you're much more at ease than you were in Salisbury.
I assure you, I'm not the least bit giddy about being here. I'm only here to guard Lady Aurora. Let me remind you, foreign mage. You may have been invited here, but you're still just a human. I suggest that you remember your place and not speak your mind so freely if you know what's good for you.
Thanks for the warning. You're always worried about humans' welfare, aren't you? That was your way of telling him that speaking to other fairies that way could cause big trouble, right?
Don't go putting words in my mouth. I intended nothing of the sort. I'm not like Lady Aurora. I have no fondness for humans, and I don't think of them as equal in any way.
Is that so? Cause the way I see it, Aurora might let humans do whatever they want, but you actually tell them what they need to hear. So between the two of you, you seem like you actually treated humans much more kindly than...
Silence! I don't care what kind of fairy you are or what clan you're from. To slander Lady Aurora is to slander the entire Wind Clan. And dare to compare her with the likes of me? Absolutely unthinkable. See, now it was foolish of me to bother paying my respect to the child prophecy. This is supposed to be a gala for distinguished guests. Brush up on your etiquette before you consider attending another.
Gotcha. Sorry about that. But before you go, do you mind if I ask just one more question? I couldn't help but notice that other fairy next to Aurora. Is she serving as your escort tonight? Even though you're her right-hand fairy.
No fairy shines more brightly than Lady Aurora. Only the most beautiful of fairies deserves to stand by her side. As such, I'm happy to offer up my seat to one more suitable, like her. Even if she is a grotesque creature who crawled her way out from the foulest sludge imaginable.
There she goes. After what Da Vinci just said, I don't blame her. What was that about, Da Vinci? Not like you. Well, that was a bust. I've been wondering just how different Cora's and Aurora's value really are for a while now, so I thought I'd take this chance to see for myself. But I guess I went a little too far. How different their values are.
What did your people say to Cora? I've never seen her so upset before.
You're the fairy who was with Aurora.
Oh, right. I'm not wearing my armor today, am I? Pardon me. This isn't our first meeting, but it is my first time properly introducing myself. I'm Tamlin Lancelot. Welcome to the ball, Artoria. So fast. And who might you be, young lady? Would you mind if I asked your name?
Not at all. I'm Leonardo da Vinci. Pleasure to meet you. Da Vinci? What? I might be Chaldea's technical advisor, but I'm still an artist first and foremost. I can't help but appreciate beauty wherever I find it. Well, damn if you don't seem like a totally different person. Is this what you're like when you're not in armor?
I'm sorry. Have we met?
You mean you don't remember? You knocked me off a damn castle and filled me full of holes.
Oh, you must be Muramasa. I'm sorry. I never got a good look at your face. I do remember you, though. Gutting you like a fish was so much fun. I knew you must still be alive. I had a feeling we would get to fight again someday. I wonder when our next fight will be. Maybe you'll finally manage to cut out my head. Oh, I can't wait to punch that cobbled together spirit core straight out of you.
Yeah. Right on. The hell, she kinda reminds me of Oberon. She's the princely type, a turtle prince. No wonder she's been gifted Lancelot's name.
You wouldn't happen to be Avalon's? Oh, right. Aurora told me not to let my true personality show too much. Congratulations on your victory at Lindinium. We may be enemies, but that was a battle well fought, and I must commend you. Also, there's one thing I'd like to ask you. How is Percival doing? I've been told he's still alive, but is he hurt at all? Or is there anything unusual about him?
No, he seems fine. Do you know Percival?
I'm his big sister.
Oh, his big sister. Well, no wonder you're worried about Percival's big sister?
Huh?
Just like Emiya Shiro's big sister Ilia, the adopted sibling.
Camlin Lancelot. She just up and left after telling us she was Percival's sister.
She's clearly the type who just says what she wants and leaves. Percival kept this pretty close to the chest. I don't think he was hiding it from us. There was just never any reason to bring it up. Is this something most people in Britain know about, Artoria?
No, not at all. In fact, I don't think most people would believe it if we told them. I can barely believe it, and I just heard it straight from Lancelot.
Then I guess Percival wants to keep it a secret. It'd probably be hell on the Round Table Army's morale to know the commander is actually Lancelot's brother. But that oblivious Tamlin just spilled the beans like it was nothing. I swear, Tamlin just seemed to go around doing whatever the hell they want. All the time, don't they? So, what do we do now?
It's not a big deal. I think we could just keep this to ourselves. It's not as though Percival and Lancelot are in contact, and it's not our place to comment on their relationship as siblings.
Got it. If you're okay with that, we don't mind keeping it quiet. I still don't get how they can be siblings at all when Percival's human and Lancelot's a fairy.
Not uncommon for fairies to adopt humans as their children. So I guess Lancelot and the fairy who took in Percival are old acquaintances.
Well, this explains why he didn't want to go near Salisbury. Da Vinci?
You there, human. That's right, I'm talking to you. One of the Tamlins said they wanted to talk to you out of on the terrace. Get out there and fast. Make sure you're on your best behavior too.
Me? Well, you are the only human here, so... What you gonna do? Are you gonna see what she wants? As long as all of you come with me.
Of course, even Miriam's rules in place, still enemy territory. And the terrace is a private area, so no other fairies will bother us there. It's perfect for clandestine conversations. I guess Lancelot must have more she wanted to ask her about after all.
Fine with me. Honestly, I was hoping to observe her a little more anyway. By which I mean her outfit. Just her outfit. I thought I could pick up some tips from its construction, you know?
Oh, but I'm impressed you accepted my Oh my god, podcast. I'm impressed you accepted invitation from the enemy. Not that I ever doubted you would.
That dress looks good on you.
Of course it does. I'm a lord. I'm not so barbaric as to wear armor to a ball.
Good evening, Vargas. We haven't seen you since that night in the Welsh forest. We also have no idea what kind of disciplinary measures you have to face afterwards. If you have something you want to say to us, why don't you start with that? What is it, Vargas? Is this for so fast ears only or something?
No, not exactly. Not that, Da Vinci. You've just captivated her. Captivate her. Okay. Come on, Bicus. Spit it out already. We don't have all night here. I know. I'm a busy woman myself, so I'll keep this brief. Da Vinci, what's it? I'm currently confined to my territory, and I've been relieved of my duty to protect Britain. Consequently, I have no reason to raise a hand to the child prophecy now. I wasn't even planning to attend this ball at all, until I realized I might see you all here. So I swallowed my pride and came here to speak with you. Does that answer to your question?
Sure does. I know you don't mean us any harm right now, but I have to be sure you understand.
Pay it no heed. You're the foreign mage's advisor. I understand you had to ask. Now, here is my question for you. I'd like you to tell me whatever you can about the outside world, about proper human history. High Queen Morgan has given me a broad overview, but I still know nothing of its history or what things are truly like there. I would like to know if you are actually merciless arbitrators, barbaric invaders, or well-meaning visitors who truly wish to know our history.
And there you go. That's all I can tell you in the limited time we have. Our battles in the Lostbelt have been to reclaim our history and our future. This place isn't our target now, but it is still a Lostbelt that will eventually need to be pruned. But that doesn't mean we have any issue with this Lostbelt's inhabitants, or that we want to erase its history. Even though this may be a zero-sum game where only a Lostbelt with proper human history can ultimately survive. That's an issue between worlds, not residents.
Is that how you feel too, Sopros?
Mm-hmm.
I see. You truly are a young man of integrity, aren't you? In that case, let me now ask you this. Do fairies exist in proper human history as well?
Yeah, life isn't exactly easy for them, but we do still have fairies in Britain's words. There are also fairies in Ireland, the Isle of Skye, and France just across the channel.
Ireland? Skye? France? I see. Alright, setting those questions aside for later. What about calamities and moors? Do those exist too?
Nope, we don't have anything like those there.
What a peaceful world yours must be. I envy the fairies who inhabit it. Okay then, let's say, strictly hypothetically, what if we were to... No, never mind. That would be asking far too much.
Were you referring to having snoo?
I've learned what I wish to know. My apologies for taking up your time.
Yes, but I guess you could move to proper human history.
How did you know? I didn't think that would even occur to you.
Oh, please, it wasn't hard to figure out, and I have no doubt Sopra feels the same after talking to you. But I guess you've always seemed more focused on protecting the fairies of Britain than the land itself. The whole reason you agreed to serve Morgan is because she was keeping Britain safe. But if she has no intention of protecting his people, you have to find another way to do so yourself. So it makes perfect sense that you consider moving them to a more peaceful place, like proper human history.
But is such a thing even possible? The inhabitants of a Lostbelt can only survive inside a Lostbelt. And the fairies of Britain are doomed to be used and discarded as mere tools for High Queen Morgan.
True, that was the case for the other Lostbelts, but Britain is different. It really is possible for you and the other fairies to exist in proper human history, Vargas. It won't exactly be easy, of course. There are a number of major hurdles that would need to be overcome first. But they're nothing that can't be resolved through peaceful discussion. And I'm sure we could manage that as long as we have kind-hearted fairies like you and Artoya leading the others.
I see. Then it seems I need to make a decision as well. Da Vinci, Sopros, I'd like you to come to my domain, Manchester. I have a proposition I'd like to discuss with you there. I understand if you still can't trust me. Just hearing what you had to say has been enlightening enough.
Okay. This part. Sorry, I'm late. It took me longer to get in than I thought. What's that bikers I just saw leaving? Looks like whatever she wanted must have been pretty serious. She didn't challenge you to a duel or something, did she? Well, I see. So she's thinking about I see. So she's thinking about immigrating to proper human history. There's something I hadn't considered. But that's just a kind of big. Old thinking I'd expect from her. Definitely an idea worth pursuing. I wish I could have been here for that discussion. So, what did you tell her? That was as far as we got. It's too dangerous a topic to discuss here. So she asked us to come to Manchester to talk it over. What do you think, Oberon? Manchester, huh? Not sure I like the sound of that. The rule of Bigus domain is survival of the fittest. A very literal dog-eat-dog world where the weak are just meat for the strong. I'm not talking of natural laws here either. This is something everyone there truly believes. In Manchester, the weak offer themselves up to the strong, and the strong think nothing of exploiting the weak. The very idea of fighting for their lives never even crosses their minds. Gloucester's fate domain is designed to let the weak and strong coexist on equal footing. But Manchester's is all about letting the strong do whatever they like. The weak be damned. Still, if you're absolutely positive that Boygus won't try to attack you there, then I suppose you could pay her a visit.
Baggy didn't seem like she meant us any harm, but she's also definitely a carnivore. So if she did decide to eat us, there wouldn't be anything we could do to stop her?
Not really. You know, the stories about the Black Dog Duchess, right? Boygus has taken a number of lovers over the years, but none of her relationships have lasted very long. They say she'll marry her, then boyfriend, and bring him back to her mansion, and by the next day, she'll have eaten him whole. After having snoo. The only creatures in all of Britain who eat fairies are the black dogs and Boygus. She may struggle against her nature, trying to be civilized, but those instincts always win out eventually. There's a reason she's so widely feared. I really can't endorse this plan. So that's why she's called the Black Dog Duchess. Come to think of it, Mike said something about her too. Gawain of many loves. Gawain the glutton? Always hungry, never satisfied. Don't take a lover one day and eat them up the next. She seemed pretty sincere to me, but I guess that could just be part of her nature as a fairy. Let's forget about Boygus for now. We still have an objective up here, and we should focus. The bell tower is right next to this hall. In fact, we can sneak in there from this terrace. I think it would be best if we handle that now, before the ball ends. Are you ready, Artoria?
Yeah, okay. After everything that's happened, not even nervous anymore. Come on, Sofras, let's go ring that third bell.
Immigrating, huh? What a clever idea you've had, Boygus. And just after you burned down the Welsh forest, too. Oh boy. Probably gonna have a revenge. Bell Tower, 3rd floor. Looks like that Merlin Magecraft finally came in handy. Nice work with that lock, Artoria. You did a hell of a work job, like a modern-day Nezumi Kozo or Jiraiya.
I don't know who those proper human history fairies are, but something about their names tells me that was a compliment.
Now that you mention it, there are lots of fairies who love to play pranks. But I never heard of one who likes to steal money. Of course you haven't. Ordinarily, fairies would never have any need for money. Fairies would never have any need for money. It's only because Morgan created currency that fairy society started building banks to keep their property safe, and why lockpicking was developed in the first place. It's not easy to open human-made safes with very sacraments alone. So now, we have lockpicking.
Merlin says something to that effect too. Something about these skills being useful on a journey like mine.
Was that really Merlin? I tell ya, you said Merlin taught you magecraft, right? Did he live in Tintago too?
Actually, I've never seen him in person. I only heard his voice whenever I was by myself. That he'd been imprisoned by a scary queen, but that could still teach me magecraft if I didn't mind distance learning. So that's how I learned the basics of magecraft. Everything else I basically came up with on my own.
I see. That sounds a lot like what happened with proper human history's Artoria. By day, her adoptive father taught her the ways of knighthood, and when she was asleep, Merlin taught her what she would need to know. He came. Yup, that part is more or less the same here in Fairy Britain too. Hang on. Are y'all hearing that chatter too?
That barium you saw below was child's play. A fancy illusion, nothing more. But this is Gloucester, the city of trends, brands, and joy. It needs more than a party to liven things up. It needs excitement, stakes, pathos, drama. Which is why I prepared a once-in-a-lifetime show for all of you to enjoy. This edition will decide a true queen. The winner of this battle will chart Fairy Britain's very future. Now, get ready to howl with laughter and gasp in envy, because it's time for the main event! What? Where'd all those Max fairies come from?
I knew it. I knew you were up to something like this, Miriam.
Allow me to introduce the contenders once again. Up on the stage now, we have one of the hottest couples in all the land. Tamlin Tristan, Her Majesty's beloved daughter, and Lord Belgut, Her Majesty's fiancé. Their opponent is the wind of change sweeping across Britain itself. Ainzo's prophesied savior. Artoria, the child of prophecy, and Lord Sopras, the foreign mage. It will be here, on the stage, that Tristan Artoria's fated showdown began. And I'm also told that Lord Bell and Lord Sopras have an even deeper connection. Can you think of a better matchup? I certainly can. Now, come to the stage. Whatever I may think, Gloucester's Bell will not reject one capable of defeating Tamlin Tristan.
This is amazing. Trust Lady Miriam to give us what we didn't even know we wanted. Lady Tristan means business this time. That's a traditional combat fairy outfit if ever I've seen one, and I have.
Oh my gosh, no matter how many times I've seen Belgut, there's just something indescribably wonderful about him. Just look at his limber stature, his strong, muscular limbs. He looks like an expert dancer. The child of prophecy must be quite a looker too, seeing how she defeated Lord Woodrose. I can't wait to see what the Savior Britain looks like.
Oh crap. It's too late. She's already trying to sneak away. Get back here, Artoria. There's no getting out of this now.
No! Let me go! I can't do this! No, seriously, I can't!
Just kick her onto the stage. It won't matter once she's up there.
Overrun!
I know how Artoria feels. Miriam, a stage like this has gotta have a dressing room, right? Where is it at?
Oh, if it isn't Muramasa, I'm glad to see you're still alive and well. Yes, there's a dressing room behind the stage. What's this about?
Great, give us a minute. Hey, Sopras, give me in for a second. Ah man, where'd they go? Are they seriously not gonna fight after we went to all this trouble?
Of course not. Nobody in their right mind will ever fight me. This isn't like the last time. There's no rule against magecraft. I'm wearing a much more glamorous outfit, and I've got you here with me. It's a shame I won't be able to cut that cheeky tongue of hers out, but I can live with watching her run off with her tail between her legs. In fact, I actually feel sorry for her. I mean, can you imagine anything more hilarious than a pathetic low-class fairy being paraded around as a child prophecy of all things? You're gonna find anyone more miserable in our Britain.
Oh, yeah? We'll just see about that. Huh? The second extinction stage for Castoria. Oh, come on, don't get so blushy out. No, Julia. Smile.
Right. Okay. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. Well, you've said your bit, Tristan. But what's with that totally obscene outfit? I'm Artoya, the child prophecy, and on my honor as a caster, I'm going to ring the bell of pilgrimage whether you like it or not. Try to get in my way, and I'll cut you and those tastefully expensive heels down to size. Ha! Kitty's got claws. Now, I didn't think you know a decent high heel if it stepped on you. But all this big talk is going to make losing much more embarrassing. I feel sorry for you, sure, but that doesn't mean I'm going to spare you. Huh? Wait, you actually think you're stronger than me? Oh, now I actually feel kind of bad. I really do have nothing but pity for you, you know? You've had plenty of practice running home and crying to mommy, right? I mean, I think so, since this will be your second crack at it. No, it won't. You're the one who's gonna be crying after I tear you apart.
Ouch. Tristan can't hold a candle to a trash talk, huh? Guess it's hard to compete with someone who's used to bottling up her frustrations. Anyway, I would have liked to chat with you a little more, so Frost. But since this is a 2-on-2 battle, well, it was never gonna go any other way, right? Personally, this is my very first time fighting a master, and I'm going up against a seasoned veteran who's defied death more times than I can count. So I plan on treating this as a learning experience. Let's enjoy killing each other, shall we? Oh hi. Here goes.
いいね。モルガンの娘同士、マスター同士の戦いってわけだ。楽しもうぜ、後輩。援護は必要かい？レディースピネル。
白兵戦行きます。水のうちに準備。白兵戦行きます。持ちやります。ここでまっすぐセクエンス。先手の杖光をほらブーター痛い。
I don't like this fight, man.
やります。もちろん負けないぞ。ここでセクエンス。
Of course you missed it.
先手の杖光を不良品にもちやります。ここでまっすぐセクエンス。なんだ覚悟しろ。ブーターブーター今のうちに準備。運命もちろん負けないぞ。それはいつか来る兆しの星。誰に呼ばれるまでもなくあなたは星をかざすでしょう。アラウンドカリバーン突破します。ここでまっすぐ先手の杖光を。運命って残酷よね。恨まれたらそれまでってこと。ほーらゴミになーれ。 もうやだ。ほら見苦しい。
This is gonna suck big time.
白兵戦行きます。やだな、戦いですからやります。ここでまず立ちはだかるなら先生の杖に光を。わがまま気まぐれぐちゃぐちゃに。どう不良品になれ。
乗ってきた乗ってきた。受け取ってくれよ、俺からのおひねりだ。
運命ですから、もちろん。それはいつか来る兆しの星。誰に呼ばれるまでもなくあなたは星をかざすでしょう。アラウンドカリバーン。ここでまっすぐ先生の杖に光を。ほらやだな。やります。負けない運命ですから。ここでまっすぐ。それはいつか来る兆しの星。誰に呼ばれるまでもなく
Need more
あなたは
overcharge.
星をかざすでしょう。アラウンドカリバーン。ここまでやれば浴びるように。
Oh, fuck,
ほら
bitch. Gotta be kidding me.
負けない。もちろん。ここでまっすぐ。セクレス。先生の杖に光を。ショータイムね。ほらもうおしまい。これがあなたの慣れの果て。鉄のフェイルノート。もうやだ。ほら
Sucks big time.
運命もちろん。それはいつか来る兆しの星。誰に呼ばれるまでもなくあなたは星をかざすでしょう。アラウンドカリバーン。うわなんだ覚悟しろ。ほら
Fuck this. Use this ley line stone. I have a lot. What's the point of this? I come all the way to this part.
白兵戦今のうちに準備やだな。やり負けないぞ。ここで立ちはだかるならここまでやれば。
Fight is just stupid anyway.
何のもちろん。それはいつか来る兆しの星。誰に呼ばれるまでもなくあなたは星をかざすでしょう。アラウンドカリバーン。ここでまっすぐ。
Are you?
覚悟しろ。やります。もちろんやります。突破します。セクエンス。なんだ覚悟しろ。今回はうまくいきました。
This is the worst 1v1 fight. Especially you can't use your own server and you're forced to use this piece of shit for that NPC with nothing but just protecting yourself. The worst 1v1 fight. Of course, I actually cheated by using the stupid ley line stones, but this fight is just ridiculous. So dumb. Never would I want to come back and fight this. It's kind of like class advantage and shit like that. And then Valorant Sith has that kind of like normal attack, that bonus Bonus passive with normal attack that give up a curse. That bleeds them over the time, which is kind of stupid. Anyway, that got out of the way. Alright, the bell rang. Yeah, screw you, stupid idiot.
Ah! No! It's leaving me. Wait! Come back! Mother's going to be furious with me again! She's gonna ask me why I'm like this. Why I'm always like this.
The Tamlin lost. After Vargas, that makes 2. Fantastic. I knew Einstein's prophecy was right. From here on, the child prophecy is the one to invest in. All that aside, where have I seen Tristan before? Oh, I remember now. I know exactly who she is. I saw her 100 years ago back in Lord Grimmalkin's mansion. Lord Grimmalkin's mansion. Her real name is Balpan Sith. She was a prostitute in Darlington and a vampire. A vampire? What in the world was the High Queen thinking? I can't imagine anything more disgusting than living on human blood. No wonder she stinks like a sewer. I can only wonder how many humans she sold her body to. The resurrection 100 years ago. Remember how Darlington was overrun with corpses? She and Morgott must have been responsible for Darlington's destruction and Lord Grimalkin becoming a night call. No wonder that damn vampire's the only one who made it out of that place alive.
No. You got it all wrong. I just... Stop it. Stop it. Don't badmouth Mother. Mother always knows best. What if I suck blood from dead bodies? What if I'm dead? Darlington wasn't my fault.
She's running away. Balpan Sith is running away. I knew the queen wasn't thinking straight. Why else would she choose a low-class fairy like that as her successor? This turned out to be a lot.
So she was lying about everything, huh? I guess that's no surprise.
Well, shit. You really handed me my ass. You're as good as I've heard, Silkfrost. Pretty sure there's no way I'll ever beat you in a master battle anymore. So, what you gonna do now? Gonna have your lady friend there kill me? Or are you gonna settle this yourself? As you can see, I'm totally unarmed now, and I don't have Balpan Sith to protect me anymore. Seems to me you're not gonna get a better chance than this to off me. Am I right?
So fast.
This is Gloucester. We can't fight here. Gotcha. Too bad. I really thought I could end this here. Looks like you've got an even better nose for danger than Kada. Now I'm really impressed. Well, time to show myself out. Besides, I don't see the point in playing with you anymore while Mash is still missing. So long, saviors. See you in Camelot someday. Balpan Sith. This reminds me like Sith Lord's daughter. Right.
Hey, great work out there, everyone. I'm so glad you enjoyed yourselves.
That's so. Pretty sure you were the only one here enjoying herself. Your dumbass showed me to pull out all the tricks I've been saving, and way earlier than I'd have liked.
Oh? What tricks? Did you join a fight while I wasn't looking?
No. Shut up. Damn it. So much for saving it for Camelot.
By the way, so fast, I really have to thank you for this lovely outfit. I had no idea you've been working on it in secret all this time. Were you just too shy to say something sooner? You consider it little Dickens, you know. You consider it little Dickens, you.
Well, actually... Look, that screams. Not one word. I think it looks great on you, too.
Thank you. I feel so dashing and gallant in this. When I think about people seeing me like that, it's enough to make...
Fucking run on with my headset. One second. My headset's acting a little funny. Okay, let's try this again.
When I think about people seeing me like that, it's enough to even make a timid thing like me want to give it my all. It seems you're all working together much better now than you were the last time you came here.
Oh, someone a little upset about being the odd fairy out.
Not anymore. No? It's not like you to be so big, Oberon. Are you feeling let out too or something?
Just a little, if I'm being honest. No fair, making an outfit like that behind my back. Man, I was really hoping to put Artoria's official child prophecy to butt off until later, when we could really do it up in style at Londinium. Now, don't be like that. I'd say this debate worked out just as well as we could have hoped. You saw all those upper-class fairies in the auction house too, right? They all saw Artoria beat Tristan fair and square, and in a manner befitting the child prophecy. So it won't be long before they've told all of Britain as well. Plus, we also got to ring a third bell while we were at it. So, does this mean the Wing Clan officially recognizes the child prophecy, Miriam?
Of course. Now that the bell has recognized her, I have nothing more to say. That being said, the chest is still going to remain neutral. This was Tristan's show. I didn't decide to offer you the bell myself. As such, I haven't technically defied the Queen. While we're at it, let's get one thing straight. I have no plans to help the Round Table Army. Fairies and humans may both be equal in Gloucester, since we value brands and trends more than anything. But in general, I still hate humans, and the Round Table Army is no exception. So please don't expect me to help them in any way, shape, or form unless they have an exceptionally good business deal for me.
Now I see. So if we can work out a deal, you'll have no problem coming over to our side, huh?
Oh, but would you knock it off with the "can we all just get along" nonsense? Your block-headed idealism just really pisses me off.
Huh? The hell are you talking about?
Never mind. Just forget it. Anyway, I really am busy right now. You guys can knock yourselves out with war all you want. Me? I have books to get back to. All the old Fae era documents I found in the records I just brought from Camelot aren't going to read themselves. You all show bow upon Sith who's boss and rang the bell like you wanted, right? So if there's nothing else you want from me, would you just get lost already?
Can I ask where Konyanskaya is right now?
Oh, Lady Fox. She's... out on business at the moment. Apparently, she finally found something she was looking for. I would wish her good luck with her work, but I know she doesn't need anything of the sort. Thanks for waiting, you two. We made it back from the ball in one piece. Wow! I don't know much about fashion, so I don't have the words to describe it well, but... you look awesome, Antonia! Your battle dress was good, but this is great! You think so? You know, maybe it does. That reminds me, your new armor looks really cool too, got it?
Tabby cat.
Huh? Me? I'm fine. I was just a little taken aback by Artoria's new outfit. I'll be damned. I guess fairies of paradise really do all have the same taste in clothes.
I'm glad to see you and Gareth are no worse for wear either, Habitrot. Okay, let's get out of Gloucester then. We don't want to keep Percival waiting too long. Oh, don't worry. I already bought a souvenir for Retrobit. He's much more innocent than he looks. So I know he'd be disappointed if we didn't bring something back for him. Hey, that's real considerate of you, Oberon. Now, if only a certain someone I could name would start following your example.
Speaking of souvenirs, we got some the last time we left Gloucester too, didn't we? I wonder how those fairies are doing now. Want to go say hi before we leave Artoria? They'll actually believe you if you introduce yourself as a child prophecy now. Huh? You mean those fairies from last time?
No, not today. It's a little too late for a surprise visit now. We can thank them the next time we're in town. Right, Artoria? You can see them anytime you come back here, can't you?
Right. Besides, I don't have anything to give them now, anyway. Next time, I'll make sure I have lots of return gifts before I pay them a visit.
Got it. Then let's get going. Time is money, and we still have to discuss our next move. Okay, let's head back to Percival and Retrobit. In 19th century Japan, around the end of the Edo period, the Satsuma domain sent a number of promising young men overseas so that they could one day help Japan prepare for the age to come. Their ultimate destination was London, the capital of British Empire and the city leading the charge into the modern era. This man was not chosen for the exchange program. He had been born to a poor samurai family. He had no property and no social standing to merit his inclusion in history. While he may not have been chosen as one of the students, he was able to stow away on a boat carrying them, disguised as one of its crew. At this point, he no longer remembers why he left his homeland. Maybe he didn't want to be there for the end of an era. Maybe he was simply fed up with its culture. Or maybe he just wanted to see what life was like in another country. Either way, he no longer remembers. Still, there was one thing he loved more than his country, his family, his friends, or even people in general: art. The only memory from that time he still barely retains is the premonition he felt upon arriving at the harbor. His eyes sparkled at the new world that lay before him. Compared to the stagnant hometown he had left behind, it may as well have been another planet. The man slipped away from his work at the ship and began exploring this new city, with only a map as his guide. It was like a dream come true. He wished he could stay longer. But he was cunning, and he knew the reality of his situation. He knew that dreams inevitably end, and timetables need to be followed. As long as he returned to the harbor by sunrise, he would still be punished, but at least he would have a way home. So after checking the time and confirming he still had plenty of it, snuck into a third noble's mansion. The mansion in question was home to many beautiful works of art. But there was one picture in particular which was so eerie and disturbing that it took the man's breath away. Reluctantly, he slipped back out of the mansion and returned to the harbor where the exchange student ship was docked right on time. It took him a full day to realize he had inadvertently wandered into an even stranger, more unfamiliar land. Somebody! Anybody! Help! Please! I just want to go back to Japan! From that point on, the man's life was filled with adventure. Soon afterwards, he was captured by fairies and made into a slave. As the fairies' captive, He endured countless hardships. When the fairies thought he had reached his expiration date of 30 years, they set him free. But since he was not originally bred and raised in Fairy Britain, he still had many years ahead of him. While the land of Fae was far too harsh an environment for a man of 55 to endure, he had made sure to observe the fairies around him closely over his 30 years of slavery. He erased his old identity, hired fairy workers of his own, and founded a company. He had his fairies kill other fairies, dissect them, and study them. He then created a serum of perennial youth to slow his aging process. Its effects were nearly imperceptible, but it was better than nothing. He continued his efforts for the next 40 years, becoming a 90-something-year-old man who still looked like a young fairy. Even then, he made it to a point to only deceive the Earth Clan. The Earth Clan fairies were narrow-minded and obstinate, but they also valued technology and were willing to trust someone based on the quality of the goods rather than their personality. They were completely lacking in business acumen, and so the man became the Earth Clan leader's secretary and found he got along with the leader better than any other fairy. There was even something of a friendship between the two. The Earth Clan's leader genuinely cared for the man, and together they started their own company. And so, Spriggan and Capless, Fairy Britain's very first general department store, was born. Sometime later, the man murdered the Earth Clan's leader in cold blood. He needed his name to develop Norwich further, in service of his goals. There is no one left in Fairy Britain who knows the man's original name. I doubt proper human history is any different.
I swear, I don't know when I'm going to get a decent night's rest again. Orders have been pouring in non-stop ever since yesterday. Camelot, Londinium, Edinburgh. Our weapons are selling as fast as we can make them. And then there's the remnants of Woodrow's army and Gloucester Bell pilgrimage. Fairies calling for Morgan's downfall have been popping up in villages all throughout the land, not just in the major cities. Good grief. I can only imagine how the Queen must feel, seeing her 2,000 years of rule come to this. Queen Morgan may be a great ruler, but the masses still have no idea just how great her accomplishments are. Only a scant handful of them could even begin to comprehend the sheer scale of her strategy. It's a lot like how those who live in cities only see their own homes, and completely miss the fact that their city wouldn't exist at all, if not for the ground it's built on. Well, this is a surprise. It almost sounds like you want Morgan to keep ruling. Not at all. I'm simply stating facts. Personally, I agree with the world at large. It's time Her Majesty stepped down. I'm not even saying she's at fault. She's simply been in power for far too long. The Queen has made an excellent country, but her values are simply too old-fashioned. I can hardly blame her, seeing as she's over 2,000 years old. Countless generations of subjects have come and gone, and in that time, their values have changed. If the Queen continues her policy of being at one with nature while tightly controlling the human population, this island will never grow beyond its current tiny size. There are few things more frightening than the harm perpetrated by an out-of-touch gerontocracy. Old parts are meant to be changed out, not left running forever. Of course, I have no intentions of becoming king myself. Even in the well of proper human history I came from, Britain was ruled by a queen. Though I believe Fairy Britain is also very best ruled by a queen. Wouldn't you agree? Then who did you have in mind for the next one? Ideally, I would prefer a bright and cheery fairy who generally loves her people. One of surpassing beauty, but who is more wicked still, and preferably ignorant of her own foolishness. Now that would be a queen worth supporting. If I never serve another overly intelligent ruling in my life, it would still be too soon. So that's why you chose her. True, she does seem like she would be a good fit for you. But the chances of that coming to pass are negligible. She has no hope of defeating Morgan, much less assuming the throne. Right you are. As far as I know, there's only one person out there capable of defeating her. And as luck would have it, my soldiers keeping an eye on the battlefield just happened to find them. All I have to do now is decide when to send them in. I must say, I'm glad we're in Britain. No one else here is familiar with the idea of using a piece captured from the enemy from your own ends. You're not born with a trump card. You gain them as spoils of battle. That said, I haven't exactly had many opponents to play with over these last 100 years.
They let me escape. They let me escape. They took pity on me, the High Queen's daughter. There was there helping me. I wasn't holding anything back. So why couldn't I win? Me, the High Queen's own daughter. Ah! Mother doesn't need any daughters but me. There doesn't need to be any other mage than me. If I only had some mage craft that was just mine. Something special, fit for the Queen's High daughter. Oh. What was I thinking? I haven't lost at all. All I have to do is bring the guardian from Mother's throne.
Going to Manchester.
Percival! We're back!
Hello, everyone. I'm glad to see you all safe and sound. Congratulations on another job well done. Artoria, the Frost. I think everyone in Britain must have heard that bell of pilgrimage ring. As your exclusive Knight Rider, I, too, couldn't be happy about this latest success. On a different subject, did you happen to pick me up a souvenir? I don't know if you remember this, but it was no easy feat for us ferry horses to transport you all from Londinium to Gloucester in only half a day. Of course we remember. Here you go. 2-in-1 hair restorer and suntan oil. I found it at a shady looking hole in the wall. It's just one of many different magecraft trinkets being sold there now, thanks to Artoria's previous escapade. Hair restore? For a horse?
There's no need to hide it. I already know you're a fashionable fairy who cares a great deal about his appearance. Be honest, aren't you itching to change your look now that Artoria's done the same?
You're a great fairy, Avalon. A shady-looking hole in the wall, you say? Sounds like a perfect place to me.
Alright, now that Red Draw's spirits have been lifted, what say we head back to Londinium? Next on our list is Oxford's Bell. Once we ring that, this war will really kick into high gear. Actually, there's something else we should take care of first. Would you mind if we changed venue so we could discuss our future plans a little more privately? Oh, that, huh? Okay then, why don't we try going into those woods over there, away from the highway? Damn, sorry about that. I had no idea this forest was actually a Moor's nest. Please stand back, fairies. The Round Table Army will handle this.
No need to worry about us. Those Moors won't be able to so much as touch me. I am Retrobit, the fairy steed of flame. See for yourselves how my body burns. Come, Sir Percival. Come, Lady Gareth. Let us demonstrate what the Knights of the Round Table truly aspire to.
Right. Wait a minute. Hold on. Finally, we have like Merlin just out. Right. This here and then here.
目を背けないで。
行くかい？
それは絶えず見た滅びの夢。最果てにありながら鳥は明日を迎えるし、ロードレスキャメル。
One I call Knight Rider. Oh, Essian Lobo.
リラックスリラックス。
さっとどこか簡単に終わらないように。
白兵戦行きます。
入らないの。
I fucking. Wait.
暗き見いい判断です。慈悲だ。神戸を垂れよ。恐怖は希望もない。何人も通るにあたわず。
悪いね。
逃がす者か。
Boom. Easy.
満足のいく結果だったかい？それは上々。
So, as I was saying, I was actually thinking of bringing a different belt of pilgrimage next. We know exactly where Oxford's bell is, and now that Woodrose is gone, we can ring it anytime. So I propose that we head to Orkney next. Morgan is bound to be watching Oxford right now, which should mean Orkney is ripe for the picking.
I see. That's a good point. We will have to make our way to Orkney eventually, after all. And since none of the Queen's troops have been deployed there, now would seem to be our best chance. Unfortunately, it's not quite that simple. The Queen will send her army after us the moment we head to Orkney, to say nothing of Nagna Riaba's army in the north. So I think it would be safer to advance the Round Table army up near Camelot, then have some troops protect us on the way to Orkney.
Now, if we go there as an army, Nagna Riaba will mobilize her army in response. She's already gone on the record saying she sees the child prophecy as an obstacle, and Artoria as a rival. So if Artoria makes any overt moves, she'll have no choice but to get in our way by virtue of her position as queen. But we really don't want to fight the Northern Fairies unless we absolutely have to. We need them on our side fighting Morgan instead. Right, Percival? Artoria?
Right. We would like nothing more than to form an alliance with the Northern Fairies.
Not as allies in a fight against the Queen, but as fellow citizens of Britain.
We tried sending messengers to Nagna Riaba several times, but unfortunately, you won't even give us the time of day.
I mean, Nagna Riaba does hate humans. Actually, I don't know if I'd say hate so as much as... Well, never mind. That doesn't matter now. Anyway, I agree with Da Vinci. I think the fourth bell I ring should be Orkney's. Once I do that, we can stop by Nagna Riaba's camp on the way home. She should be willing to negotiate with us now. Yeah, you're the child prophecy in Orkney and dead now. Indeed now. The Chocolate Queen can't afford to ignore you anymore. Okay, then the next question is, how do we get to Orkney without anyone finding out?
What if we went through the Lake District? It's a marshland in northwestern Britain,
and constantly mired in fog. The terrain is much too treacherous for an army to cross, and it's full of Moors too. Both Knocknat Riaba's army and the Royal Army always keep their distance. It would be a much more dangerous route than taking a highway, but sounds like a good idea to me. Let's do it. We only got but so many people with us. You better be off dodging Moors than an army. I guess that's true. What do you think, Soapfrost? If it gets us there undetected, I'm all for it. I see. Then I guess that's that. Personally, I don't think splitting off from our army is a good idea. But I guess you guys are used to moving about as a small, elite unit. For a team with your skills, the Lake District shouldn't be much of a problem. Good luck. I'll be rooting for you.
Huh? You're not coming with us, Oberon?
Of course not. The Round Table Army is in the middle of a rapid growth period. Someone has to stay and keep an eye on them. Following up the child prophecy with the bells of pilgrimage is important, of course, but so is improving our army. First of all, I'd like you to come along and command the Round Table Army too, so we can secure Oxford's bell. It'll leave Londinium a little thinly guarded, but if we can occupy Oxford, we arguably won't need it anymore. And once that happens, the Queen's army won't have any more reason to attack there. Then it's settled. Artoya, Soapfrost, Muramasa, Da Vinci, Gareth, and Habitat. We'll set out for Orkney's Bell by the way of the Lake District. Retrobit, would you be willing to help them? I could certainly take them as far as the edge of the Lake District, but I won't be able to bring the wagon in there. So once I've seen all of you off, I'll lay low in Edinburgh and pretend to be a wandering knight. You'll all be stopping by Edinburgh on your way back from Orkney, right? So I'll rendezvous with you there. That sounds perfect. Where have you been hiding all these smarts? For that matter, why were you toiling away as Aurora's secret weapon horse all this time? You could have had a much more prestigious career under Woodrose. As you can see, I've always had an affinity for the wind, so the Wind Clan City feels like home to me. Didn't you say you were the fairy steed of flame earlier? Alright then, Oberon and I will head back to Londinium.
Wait, I'm going with you too. I'm sorry, Artoya. I know this is selfish of me, especially after I declared myself the child prophecy's #1 knight. I know my going back to Londinium probably won't make that much difference. But I can still help there, and I just can't leave its people to fend for themselves. Of course, Garrett. You have nothing to apologize for. I think it's great that you found somewhere else you belong. Somewhere you belong. Don't worry about me. Soapfrost, Da Vinci, and Muramasa, I'll be just fine. Sure, I'll miss having you around, but it won't be long before we'll get to see each other again in Londinium. So let's make sure we've both gotten stronger by then. You got it. In the meantime, I'll be keeping my ears peeled for the ring of the next bell.
Good luck. See you soon. Right. Take care out there. Be warned, there's a ton of ash over on that far shore, and it also gets freezing cold out there. And since neither Blanca nor I can cross the ocean, we have no idea what may be going on inside Orkney. Still, whatever you find there, I'm sure it won't be as bad as what you had to overcome in the Russian Lostbelt. Oh, and keep an eye on Artoya. The more nonchalant she acts, the more she's tearing up inside. Yeah, I know. Guess I needn't have bothered warning you, huh? I'm glad she's in good hands. Once we run the Orkney and Oxford bells, we'll have to move faster than ever. So in the meantime, I'll do whatever is necessary to find out where the 6th bell is located. After that, it'll finally be time to face Morgan, regardless of how the odds are stacked against us. What's more,
something tells me that even defeating her won't be enough to solve all our problems. There's something else in Britain, something cursing every living creature here. Unfortunately, we haven't the least idea what it could be. Remember this, so fast. We still know almost nothing about Britain's history. If we're lucky, maybe you'll find a clue as to how this world came to be the way it is in Orkney. And if we're really lucky, that clue may just give us the edge we need to defeat Morgoth. I hear a bell ringing. I hear a voice, my voice, call to me in a dream that hasn't changed once in my entire life. But this is everything we can do for her right now. I think it will be at least some use. So please make sure she gets it, okay?
Okay, I will. I think the child prophecy would be thrilled to receive this.
Yeah? Yeah, we think so too. You guys make sure you keep her safe, okay? I didn't really want to accept those gifts. It was all junk. It was all junk. Any upper-class fairy who saw it would think it was just a pile of trash. But for those fairies who struggled just to make it through the day, it was their most precious treasure. I could see their hopes, their feelings in those gifts, and I could see the future. I saw the hope they were clinging to. I saw their joy in believing in something warm. I saw them tear up from the sheer gratitude of being alive, no matter how hard life was for them. And I saw how they would probably be gone by the next morning. The next time we came to Gloucester, those fairies were nowhere to be seen. They didn't entrust their hopes to Child Prophecy because they knew they weren't long for this world. They would have loved to live longer, but they wanted to help the Child Prophecy even more, so they gave me the only treasure they had, their lives. I really wish they hadn't. I see a Britain I don't recognize in a world I know nothing about. I see a young squire standing alone in a town lit only by the rays of the setting sun. It's me as a little girl, though raised as a boy. This other Artoya is placing her hand on the sword of selection, even though no one told her to. Britain's destruction's all but certain now. Anyone who will claim its throne is destined to be a sacrificial lamb. If you become its king, the people will place all their hopes on your shoulders, asking you to make everything right. If you fail, they will be just as quick to curse you, blaming you for everything going wrong. You will gain nothing from this. Truthfully, you'll only be making life harder for yourself. A low mage with a kind of face stands behind her, encouraging her not to go through with this. You should think long and hard before you make your choice. Once you draw that sword, you'll never be able to go back to an ordinary human life. By giving him Futanari. Giving her Futa. Yeah. Think about it. No. There's nothing to think about. This just doesn't make sense. The world ending is everyone's problem to solve. If it's gonna end, it should end with everyone cursing each other equally. So why? Why are you...
I saw a great many people smiling. I don't think that was a mistake.
And this is what happened as a result. A pariah to even her own knights and subjects, even after she rebuilt the entire country. Crushed beneath the weight of the world's hope, without ever knowing joy of her own.
All she built came to ruin, and her trusted companions killed each other. Everyone knew she was dead, so she died alone. Is this some kind of joke? It's not funny. It's just cruel. How could you just use her to get what you wanted, and then ignore her favor, and ignore her forever? How could you forget her, like she was just some story you finished enjoying? Why did she have to do all that? Why did she feel like she had to? There was no reason at all for her to become king. It just seemed like she had the power to. I don't understand. I've seen her whole life play out now, and it hardly seems like something to aspire to.
Why did it have to be you? Couldn't you have just let someone else do it?
The worst thing I could say slipped out of my mouth before I could stop myself. My other self quietly turned around and faced me and said,
Perhaps. I do think there may have been someone else suitable for this role. Then why? Why in the world did you do this?
Why?
I think you know the answer better than anyone.
Hmm?
We've been heading north on the highway all night, and it's almost noon now. At this pace, we should arrive at the entrance to the Lake District by nightfall. Just please remember that we'll be parting ways temporarily once we get there.
Oh, right. About that. I was actually hoping we could tweak our plans a little, and you could head west from here. That's the way to Manchester, right? I want to stop by there before the Lake District.
Manchester? As in Biker's domain? Are you sure about this? So fast?
I'm on board, yes.
Yeah, you're a dog person too. Well, what about you, Muramasa?
What? Is it really that surprising? I just assumed you worked that out when Da Vinci said she wanted to go to Orkney.
Well, I didn't, okay? What about you, Habitat? Did you know? Me? Da Vinci talked to me about it before we got on the wagon. She wanted to know if I'd mind stopping there before Orkney. So, even you already knew about this, Habitat? But I'm supposed to be the leader.
I'm sorry, Artoria, but even if you were on board with this plan, I didn't think you'd be able to keep it to yourself. Vicus is still technically one of the Queen's Tamlin, so I didn't want Percival or Oberon to know about this.
Good point. Percival would certainly worry if he knew we were stopping by enemy's territory. And I doubt Oberon would have been happy about either, since she burned down his forest.
Oops. Manchester's a nice place. It's very unlike Oxford, which has been getting more modernized with its restaurants. It's still an idyllic fairy town, like you'd see in a story. Fighting may be against the rules in Gloucester, but Manchester doesn't need to ban fighting. The whole town despises it, you see.
Really? Even though survival of the fittest is the law of the land there?
Don't worry. Viger's take on survival of the fittest isn't quite what you're thinking. You'll see when we get there. Alright then, Manchester it is. Trust me, it's a lovely place full of peaceful wildlife. There won't be any fighting there whatsoever. I give you the retro bit guarantee.
Haven't had such a clear red flag in a while. Manchester, Main Street. Inside a local tavern.
Woo! You tourists look really strong! This is awesome! Get 'em!
What? Wait. Back in line. Bozo. Later,
まだまだ未熟者ですが頑張ります。
最高のカー
白兵戦行きます。
目に映つ目をよく言いました。
It's gonna be so easy.
それは絶えず見た滅びの夢。最果てにありながら鳥は明日を迎えしロードレスキャメル死になさいアコーロ多くの雲に
They're doing. We went in. No.
やだね。戦いですか。
あまり悩ませないの
リラックス
楽しくさ簡単に終わらないよ目に映るよく目を背けないで慈悲神戸を垂れよ恐怖は希望も何人も通るにあたわずやっと血がたぎってきたのに終わりだなんていつの
Hey, Waver gave me
反
3
乱防
quartz.
止は物足りませんね
Thank you. Manchester. Star. Ah! The same dream I've had several times before. I'm crying. I'm crying while creating the remains of what used to be my lover. I'm crying while mating the remains of what used to be my lover. They're delicious. I'm so happy. It's wonderful. It hurts. I'm heartbroken. This is madness. Actually eating or mating. I'm crying while eating the remains of what used to be my lover. Okay, yeah. Predation is a fact of life for wild creatures. Natural for us to seek out others, love them, and become one with them in order to survive. Living by the laws of the wild is also a source of pride for me. Blessed with an exceptional spirit urgent, even for one of the Fang clan. As one who was born strong, I have a duty to govern and protect the weak. I have to be strong. I have to be at the strong so I can grow stronger. See, my rules are right. I only love the strong. And I, better at those, I love so that I may become an even better wild creature. That is my lot in life. That is how I had many strong meals so I can defend Britain and protect the weak. But deep down, having another good cry, redacted. Why don't you come over here? You don't have to stop crying. Tell me what happened today. Something painful happened? Something sad? Did it happen to you while you smiled? Did it happen to someone else while you got upset? Whatever it was, please, tell me. I want to know how you feel. It's okay. I promise I'll never stop liking you, no matter how embarrassing it may have been. body seemed as though it could fall apart at any moment. He could barely speak above a whisper. He was the weakest creature I've ever known, yet he helped me tremendously when I was on the verge of a breakdown. You know, there's nothing like a fun story to cheer you up in hard times. Why don't I tell you another tale of your favorite knights of the Round Table? I'll tell you a story of Flotsam that drifted here as a changeling. A florid, proud, and slightly somber story. A story of the brave knights you always looked up to. The knights of those stories were not compelled by anyone to be righteous. They were born righteous. They were proud. They were wonderful. They protected the weak and did good deeds wherever they went. They may have only stories from another world, but I still admire them more than anything. And though a despicable fairy like myself had no right to do so, whenever I shared my trepidations through my tears, he always responded with a gentle smile. There, look out at the garden. Those flowers you planted have grown in beautifully. And I see you planted another one for me today, so that I could enjoy them even though I can't walk. Thank you. That's so kind of you. I only hope that one day you'll be free of the pain you carry in your heart. That's right. Her love runs true and deep, and with every new relationship, certain prevail over her need to consume. She has never succeeded. Now she's at her limit. No, she reached her limit long ago. I don't know how many times she's thought of putting herself out of her misery. But despite that urge, her strong sense of responsibility forbids her from taking the easy way out. So she lives with the guilt of devouring her lovers, and, as penance, continues to protect Britain even as it tears her upside. She's an example to all of us. That's why I want to help her any way I can. You're the only fairy possessed of true nobility. It would be a tragic loss for you to take your own life. So let's make a deal, Barghest. It's still a little too soon for you to take on the curse after all.
Sorry, so sorry.
I really am sorry about that, everyone. I hope you can forgive them. I promise I'll give these idiots a stern talking to later, so this sort of thing doesn't happen again. They're very susceptible to trends, you see? And, well, you know how they're talking about Camelot preparing for war these days, right? That made them want to have a pretend war of their own. They were satisfied with board games up until you walked in, but...
Well, come on. Those fairies and the humans just look so strong. I knew it'd be a blast to fight them.
Don't be daft. Have you forgotten that Lady Barghest is back right now? If you lost ever get someone killed and she finds out about it, she'll have your heads and mine. You ought to be thanking your lucky stars that these people are so strong and understanding. Also, no more alcohol for you until I say so.
Oh, come on. Don't be like that. I can't go back to not drinking human alcohol now I know how good it is.
Well, Retrobit? Care to revisit your Retrobit guarantee?
That's strange. I distinctly remember Manchester as a town bursting with smiles, kindness, and violence.
Don't be silly. There's no violence here. The rule of Manchester survival of the fittest.
You must have followed us here from the tavern.
I'm Jenny. I was just born here. I was just born near here recently. Ah, I see. That explains it. So, you must not know much about Manchester yet. You happen to know where the Lord's house is, Jenny? You mean Lady Barghest? Sure, it's over that way at the end of the big road.
Oh, there. I see it. Oh, yeah. I see it now. Looks like it's a big mansion with a beautiful garden. Anyway, I thought Manchester was a Fang Clan town, but I guess it has fairies like you too. Are there Earth Clan fairies here as well?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen many Earth fairies. There's lots of humans here, though. It's about half fairies, half humans. Really? So far, I've only seen fairies walking around. Are there really that many humans here, too? Of course, it's survival of the fittest here, so the strong have to protect the weak. I know, because I'm one of the ones being protected. Lady Vargas might be strict, but she's also really kind and really funny.
So that's how she defines survival of the fittest, huh? Now I get it. I had my suspicions given what we've seen of her. But it does look like, to Vargas, survival of the fittest ain't about the strong preying on the weak.
That's right. It's been like this for as long as I can remember. The strong should only eat the strong. The weak aren't worth eating, so they must be protected. She'd say that all the time.
Okay, now it seems like a good time to ask about this. Did you know Vargas when you were kids or something, Artoria?
Of course not. Don't be silly. I mean, you saw how Vargas didn't even recognize me, right? Nope. Certainly haven't known her for a long while. No, sir. In fact, I don't know a single thing about her. Nothing. Huh? I know a lot about Lady Vargas. She's back at her mansion right now. Everyone in town keeps congratulating her over coming back to visit her new lover all the time. Are you kidding me? I talk about being a proud and noble Tamlin, and she still has the time to keep lovers?
Vargas lover. I don't even want to think about it.
You can't take what rumors say too seriously. Not like she ever confirmed any of them herself. And even if what they say is true, that's between her and her lovers, right? If they're all okay with it, who are we to judge?
Well, true love or not, crimes are crimes. But this is also the land of faith, and we know different areas have their own, very different rules. Still, now that we've come this far, we can't leave without seeing her. If you're scared, Retrobit, it's okay. You can wait here. Besides, we're the ones who wanted to talk to her.
No, that's okay. I've come this far with you, and I'm not about to part ways now. Besides, I can't help it if she sets her sights on me as her next dish. That's just a burden someone as popular with all ages as me has to bear. So if things should take a turn for the worst, I can at least be bait. I mean, a meat shield for the rest of you while you make your escape. Now, come! Let us be off to the demon's lair. I'm certainly not afraid of any horrific fairy-eating black dog.
Welcome to Manchester, everyone. What a wonderful surprise to see you take me up on my request less than a day after I made it.
Damn.
Gorgeous. Who in the world would call such a beautiful lady horrific? I see now that you are nothing less than a true noble. A true champion. Personally, I, Retrobit, feel as though I've just been hung out to dry in the final corner.
Thank you for your kind words. May I ask who this Fang Clan fairy is? Don't worry about him. He's just another hapless horse. Happy Cat, would you mind taking Redra outside for a bit? Sure thing. Come on, Redra. Let's go out to the yard. I noticed there was a fun-looking plaza out there.
It's called a paddock habitat. Ah, there really is nothing like a clan mansion. They always have so many luxuries, even when the owner has no particular plans to use them.
Thanks for the warm welcome.
Of course, it is incumbent upon every good lord to show their guests proper hospitality. All the more so when it was I who invited you to begin with. If anything, I should be thanking you. Anyway, I'm glad you let us in here without even patting us down. Now that we know for sure you don't mean to fight us, we can relax and get down to, Vargas? I'm afraid you aren't mistaken in that. While I certainly bear you no ill will, as you can see, I do have every intention of fighting you. Huh? What's the meaning of this, Vargas? Would you kindly stay out of this? My business is with you. Silkfrost, master of Chaldea, and Leonardo da Vinci, his faithful servant. I know this is unbecoming, but I would like to ask you, with all respect, for a duel. Would you be so kind as to show me your strength once again?
Of course. Now I see. You want to find out if Chaldea can walk the walk before we can talk the talk, huh? I gather you won't trust us unless we can prove we're able to beat you without the child prophecy's help?
That is true, yes. But more than that, I am interested in you, Silkfrost. I want to see just how far a mere human can go against us fairies. Now, I am going to see for myself whether your victories so far have been more than a fluke.
Okay, alright. Time for a Squatoya. Triple saber faces for triple Artoya. Going for triple Artoya faces. So it's just a 3-on-1. Shit. Full charged.
この剣は豊満たる士族の証。震えなさい。ブラックバックカラティーンですわ。もうやだ。狩りは得意。眠いな。しつけがいがありそうね。
Thanks.
望まれることを望まれたように。それはいつか来る兆しの星。誰に呼ばれるまでもなく、あなたは星をかざすでしょう。アラウンドカリバーン。
スイミング。華麗。あまりにも華麗。小柱とキレ。エクスカリバーン。ビビを取らせたわね。フリー。
Easy. Well, this has been a day of extremes. Wow, these gnocchi are so good. I love how versatile potatoes are, no matter what world they come from. These oysters are amazing too. I was a little shocked when they came out on that huge plate piled up to the ceiling. But damn if I couldn't eat these things forever.
Don't let the fancy presentation fool you. Not nearly as impressive as it looks. Just look at all those meat pies dominating the table. There must be enough here to cover Garrett's entire shield. That makes pretty clear how vain Baggy he is. He's obviously trying to break our concentration by overwhelming us with quantity and flourishes. Won't work on me though.
So, you're not aware that you're taking a bite of meat pie even as you speak?
Oh man, this is really good. There, I changed back to my usual armor now that I'm done with both fighting and cooking. I do hope you like the food. I apologize that I couldn't make anything more than these simple dishes. Normally, I would have had my chefs do the cooking, but I had to give them a leave of absence as part of my house arrest.
You mean you made all this yourself?
That's right, but it's nothing too impressive. I merely imitated flour-based human culinary techniques and drilled them into me. It's a far cry from the gourmet cuisine they serve in Camelot. Huh? Is that so? I didn't think you Tamlin was so domestic. It must be hard being the lord of a hick town like this if you have to do your own cooking. I don't understand. Shouldn't everyone who plans to get married someday be able to do all manner of housework?
Everything was great, but I think we should get down to business.
Indeed. Now that we've come this far, I will be completely frank with you. I want to keep the resident of Britain safe. That is why I pledged my horn to Her Majesty. But Her Majesty does not share that goal. In fact, she is actively working to worsen the great calamity. She cares only for Fairy Britain itself, not the Fae who inhabit it. So, here is my proposal to you, Child of Prophecy. If you mean to ring the bells of pilgrimage so that you may truly save Britain, I am willing to fight for your cause. If need be, I will even rise up against the Queen herself during the Battle of Camelot that is now sure to come. You're serious about this, aren't you? I don't mind having you on board, but what about your pride as a knight? You really want to join our side, even after you destroy the human branch and burn down the Welsh force at the Queen's command? That's right. Even if it is too little, too late, I still wish to join you. As to my crimes, you are welcome to convene a court-martial after the Battle of Camelot. Rest assured that I will expect no mercy. I will accept whatever punishment fits my crimes. But first, I want you to promise me one thing. Dobras, Da Vinci, you have both said it is possible for Fairy Britain's residents to immigrate to proper human history. If that is true, and you two are willing to tolerate fairies living among you, then I would ask that you please give the matter some thought. Her Majesty has already told me that our Britain is what is known as a Lostbelt, a world that was meant to disappear to make way for proper human history. I believe it. I have no doubt that this Britain should never have come to exist.
What makes you say that, Biggest? You want to protect Britain, right? So why do you think it should never have existed? Are those two ideas mutually exclusive?
Because we feel this land. Every one of us. I suspect you could ask any fairy in the land, and they would give the same answer. At any rate, under Queen Morgan's reign, every fairy will perish by the end of the year. I naturally have no notion of what our lives would be like under the Child Prophecy's reign. But if there should be fairies who, under her reign, wish to move outside the world, I hope you would take them in. If worst comes to worst, and this Britain really does disappear, I could ask for nothing more than have the fairies born here live on in your world.
What do you think, Technical Advisor? I think it's a great idea. In fact, I can't come up with a single reason to refuse. The storm border is big enough to hold up to 500 refugees. They would have to live there until we resolve the bleached earth phenomenon, of course. But as long as they're okay with that, they should be able to get by in the border just fine. Besides, this is exactly what the storm border was designed for. It's a modern-day Noah's Ark. While there aren't very many of them, there have been a few vessels like that in proper human history. They serve as literal lifeboats to preserve the future of the species they carry. 500 ain't a whole lot compared to fairy population at large, though. You gonna be okay with that, Biggest?
Yes. Saving even a small number is far better than failing to save anyone. As long as you remember this promise. No, my wish. Then I will gladly become a filthy turncoat for your cause. Of course, I am sure Sir Gawain would think poorly of me for this. However, briefly I used his name. I admit the very idea of betraying one's lord must be unthinkable to him.
Gawain will have some choice words for you, but he'd also be proud of you.
I see. So he really would scold me.
But I have to ask, are you sure about this, Bargus? Never mind the politics. Are you sure you can trust us, your enemies?
I'm sure. You said something like this before yourself, Sophraj. Even if the world is about to disappear, you didn't want to let what might come tomorrow ruin today. And you were exactly right. Instead of worrying what might happen tomorrow, I should focus on what I can do today. Alright, I can't possibly turn you down at this point. Forgetting for a moment how in the world I'm going to explain this to Oberon. Tamlin Bargus, if you really want to help the Child of Prophecy, you can do so in Camelot. Once the fighting there begins, you're to refrain from attacking the Round Table army. That part is absolutely non-negotiable. Aside from that, well, if you feel like neutralizing some of the Queen's army for us, I'm not going to stop you. Anyway, those are my only instructions. Any thoughts, Bargus? I'm surprised you didn't ask me to open the castle gate from the inside for you. Did I not say you need not hold back on my behalf? I know, but I just don't trust you enough to rely on you for something so crucial. All you have to do is fight within your means. We can break down the gates ourselves. Good point. If I were lying you, you would certainly be in dire straits if you trusted me to open the gates for you. You made the right choice, but I must admit, I didn't expect you to be so severe.
Personally, I don't think it's gonna come to that. By the way, on a much lighter subject...
Yes? I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Could you introduce us to your significant other? Yeah, I'd love to meet them too. We heard all about it in town. They say you come back to Manchester all the time just so you can spend time with your new squeeze.
It's not all the time. I just come here as often as I can. Besides, he's not my significant other at all. He's just a human boy I take care of. I only love the strong. I would never even dream of taking a lover as weak, incapable, and devoid of a future as him.
You sure about that? They say love is blind for a reason. You could just as well end up falling in love with the last person you suspect.
I could? I suppose I shouldn't be surprised that proper human history's culture is so advanced. But, I digress. Adonis is very weak. Been sickly all his life. He's currently recuperating here in my mansion. While he was very excited to meet you when I told him about you so fast. I'm afraid he's been struggling with an unrelenting coughing fit recently. And I haven't been able to get him the medicine he needs thanks to the imminent great calamity. So I want to at least let him get all the rest he needs. That said, I would be very grateful if you could come here to meet him after the battle at Camelot. I may not be able to come back myself, but I know you would all get along very well.
Gotcha. Sorry for the uncouth request. I guess these fairies aren't the only people you want to keep safe.
Of course not. I may not hesitate to discipline uneducated humans, but even that is no more than the basic training humans need to survive in this world. Fairies and humans are two halves of one whole. You cannot treat them separately. Protecting fairies means doing the same for humans.
Well, this has been a really productive talk. I'm glad we stopped by Manchester. I think this has been a good respite for you too, Artoria. You must have enjoyed getting to talk with an old fairy friend of yours, right? Sure, you might have been acting huffy, but you clearly also enjoy the meat pies, seeing how you ate so many.
It was hardly. This wore me out even more than acting a part of a child prophecy around a round table army. Now, if we're done here, let's get going already. You'll have to make it to the Lake District by nightfall.
The Lake District? I see. So you're going to Orkney. There may not be very many moors up north, but each individual moors there is stronger than what you are accustomed to. And those in the Lake District are especially strong at that. Be careful out there.
Thanks for the heads up. What is it, Vargas? Still got something on your mind?
Yes. I was just thinking about the relationship between master and servant you told me about during our meal. Her Majesty has told me about servants as well. Servants are spirit beings that are retrieved from the chronicle of human history, a place beyond time known as the Throne of Heroes. They come into being when their master summons them for a particular purpose. These servants then stay by their master's side, and should their master die, they vanish. Do I have that all correct?
Pretty much. Yep. Why?
Then it doesn't make sense.
What? That a servant obey the master when the master's weaker?
I wonder about that too, but no. That isn't what I'm talking about now. I'm talking about Belgut. He claims that Queen Morgan is a servant he summoned himself. But Queen Morgan has never called Belgut her master. And above all, he only came to Fairy Britain a few months ago, while Morgan has been queen for over 2,000 years. That's what doesn't make sense. Her Majesty was alive and well long before this man came along. Unless... Is it possible to summon a servant version of a currently living person?
I've never heard of anything like that before, but maybe. I can think of one possibility. There have been a few cases where the future forms of hero spirits with exceptionally complex histories have been summoned in the present day while their original self was still alive. And since in proper human history, Morgan was known to have 3 separate personalities, it could be that one of them was summoned here. But of course, if that were the case, it would also mean there are 2 Morgans here in Fairy Britain. I don't suppose you've seen any signs of a second Morgan, or even heard rumors to that effect?
No, I haven't. There's only one Queen Morgan, and she is not a servant. I have served Her Majesty for 200 years. I am absolutely certain she is a fairy. I just read it. 1,000 years. I am absolutely certain she is a fairy. That's why I wish to ask you about this. Is this Belgut truly Morgan's master?
I'm not sure. Circumstantial change confirmed. I have a proposal for you, chosen. An offer for those of you who were cast aside. If you desire acclamation, then choose rebirth. If you desire indolence, then choose eternal sleep. It makes no difference to a god. It makes no difference. Well, it sure as shit it makes a difference to me whether I live or die. Living inevitably means struggling, while dying takes those struggles right off your plate. I've always preferred to keep things simple. I can't even dance if I've got too much on my mind. Acclaim, power, the future of humanity, being the best version of myself I can. Fact is, I don't care enough about myself to get worked up about any of that. Okay, Mr. Beauregard, I hear you. But before I give you my answer, can you tell me one thing first? I asked him if there was anything in this world that actually mattered to me. And he answered me without a second thought. Because that's a guy for you. Hey, Custoria! So you made it back to life too, huh? Well, hey, that's awesome! I thought I'd be the first one out, but I guess I was dead wrong. I mean, we're talking about a foreign god here, right? One who says he's gonna refute all of human history? I figured the only ones who jumped on a sweet offer like that be me, a Bronzino, or David. Not at all. I have as much desire as the next person. What could be more enticing than the prospect of creating new human history? You have to be mad to refuse. Oh damn, I stand corrected. So, you finally shown your true colors, huh, Rodime? I mean, there's been times before when I couldn't believe the stuff that came out of your mouth, but still. Anyway, you got a real nice smile now. I like it. A big relief. That smile says, I'm gonna abandon all of humanity to their deaths so I can be the king of the goddamn world. If you were all broken up about this while pretending to be one of the good guys, then I'd have had some serious reservations about sticking with you.
Do I really seem that different now than I did before?
Nope, you don't. That's why I'm so happy about this. You've actually been off your rocker this whole time.
Oh well. At least I already knew on some level that the members of Team A misunderstood me in many ways.
Huh? Hey, don't get all gloomy on me. I like this new you. So, what do you want me to do, Rodime? You're the team leader, yeah? And hey, now I finally get what the whole crypto thing was all about.
That's right. You were brought into the Singularity repair missions for emergency contingency, weren't you? You know about our secret Sirius lights and how to use them. You also know how they're designed to deliver a decisive blow to ensure the preservation of humanity. When the foreseen singularities appear in the 7 points in human history, we expect them to.
Huh? I thought only me and Marisbury knew about the Sirius lights. Guess you did too, huh? Or maybe the foreign guy told you? Either way, you sure cut my work out for me. Well, you guessed it. I'm the cleanup guy. It's my job to dispose of anyone thinking about deserting their post. So, what you gonna do with me now? Gonna kill me here while we're all alone so as not to wreck team morale?
No. I think your ruthlessness could be useful. I want to use it. Eventually, everyone from Team A will be resurrected and assigned a Lostbelt. From there, the foreign guide will give us each a ticket to potentially become the king of the world in exchange for growing our Lostbelt's tree of emptiness. And I would like you to tear your ticket up. You don't mind, right? It's not as though that ticket will actually be good for anything. However, you can't be reckless about it. You'll need to do it in secret, while making it seem as though you're still giving it an honest try.
Huh? Hang on. You're telling me to betray the foreign guide too? And what was that about tearing up my chance to become the king of the world? Are you shitting me with?
You'll be assigned to Isle of Britain. I took the liberty of choosing it for you. I assume you don't mind it being your homeland.
And if I do? Not even Marisbury was this unilateral about his decision making, you know?
I see.
Unfortunately, now that I've already brought this up, I can't pretend it never happened.
If you refuse, I'm afraid I'll have no choice but to kill you.
What? Seriously? So I got no choice in this?
Thank you, Pharaoh. I'm glad we understood. I'm glad we understand one another. You're the only one I can ask to do this. I don't know what that Lostbelt is like, but I do know Britain is crucial to the Magecraft world. There's no telling what could happen if the foreign guide were to inhabit something which came from there. It's the one Lostbelt that must be cut down before it can grow to maturity. How you choose to go about it is your business, but
basically, you just want me to slack off like I've always done, right? Okay, pal, you got it. Besides, I never had much interest in competing to be king of the world anyway. This gig's way more up my alley. That said, Rodime, this is still a deal we're making, so I expect you to keep up your end of it too. Once you become the king of the world, you better make damn sure I live it up in the lap of luxury, alright? Shit. There really isn't a goddamn thing here, is there? Well, apart from all the phantasmals and fairies and assorted nasty besties running around, how is a place like this gonna be any threat to the new human history? I guess even Woldheim gets it wrong every now and... No, wait. I remember that look on his face. Whatever's here, he was positive it was gonna be a problem. Maybe he knew about something funky going down in London the rest of us didn't. Ah well, no sweat off my back. That just makes my job even easier. Now I can take care of the Tree of Emptiness without anyone getting in my way. Speaking of which, I should probably go about summoning my servant. Thanks for making sure each cryptos could summon at least one servant, Marie. I mean, it was the least you could do after inscribing us with something as dangerous as the Sirius Lights. But still. Of course, I still don't know exactly what kind of servant I'm gonna get. But I think I can make a pretty good guess. Whoever I summon, my only condition is that they're capable of destroying the world.
I am Morgan, the Fairy Queen, a ruler. I have come in response to your summons. You there, descendant of witches. Are you my master?
Oh. That was a good nap. I knew I made the right choice stopping here before heading home to Darlington. Whoops, sorry Queenie. Didn't realize you were still hard at work on the throne all by your lonesome. Still, don't you think it's time you chilled out just a bit, Morgan? The Tree of Emptiness is dead. Pistoria was our biggest enemy, and we defeated him too. The Foreign God never got a hold of the Spirit Urchin she wanted, and she never will now. There's nothing for us to be afraid of. We practically already won. So why not just relax? Not like Chaldea or the Child of Prophecy are any threat to you, right?
Of course not. I have never considered either of them my enemy. My only enemies are the humans who once rejected me, and the Isle of Britain that would reject the very Britain I've created. Proper human history itself is my enemy, and so I will not relinquish my throne until it has been truly, utterly destroyed. Know this, Barrowgut. The fault for Balrog's Sith's failure in Gloucester lies in part with you. If you are so inept as to be unable to babysit a child, I will be forced to reconsider your position as both my husband and master. Tell Balrog's Sith she has had her final chance. I have clearly been too soft on her. It is time she learned to carry herself in a manner befitting my hair.
Whatever you say, Morgan. She'd be a lot happier to hear that from you, but I guess that's too much to ask. You don't really love anyone, so there's no chance you allow an heir to take over from you. Man, I almost feel sorry for Balrog's Sith, being adopted by a woman as cold-hearted as you. Let's finish this for a fragment part and then call off. 69. Nice. After the incident of the pit, Nash and AS began investigating ruins all around Britain. Their only leads were the stories passed down within the Mirror clan, and the murals left by the Rain clan. And so, they set out from west to east on a great adventure in search of written records left behind by humans. Between running into moors, getting attacked by anti-Londinium fairies, and fighting the occasional giant monster when AS felt like it, things weren't always easy. But when all was said and done, these travels became lovely memories. Of course, it helped that Mash was always so strong and awesome no matter what.
Hey, Mash, didn't you call me by some weird name when we first met? Yes I did. I'm sorry. You, look so much like someone else I know that it just slipped out. Really? There's someone out there who looks just like me? What are they like? I only spent a little time with her, but that was enough for me to know she's a wonderful person. She's brave and kind and dependable, and she spent a lot of time in her workshop making all sorts of clothes. Her name is Habitar. She's a very happy fairy who wants nothing more than to be a friend to brides everywhere. Whoa, so there's a fairy like that in the future, huh? I guess her name does sound a lot like mine. Maybe it's a fake name, like Ask. Maybe she's trying to cover up her true name. Huh? That's enough, Mash. You agreed not to tell us too much about the future, remember? You're right. I'm sorry. I thought it would make Tutorot happy, and I didn't stop to think about what I was doing. Gotcha. You can be pretty careless sometimes, huh, Mash? I'm sorry, too. Still, I like the idea of being a friend to brides everywhere, too. That sounds like a great life to me.
Well, they had a lot of conversations like that, so I thought I'd include one for posterity. Anyway, posterity, yeah. Anyway, their search through ruins lasted about 5 months. They didn't learn much, but they didn't give up either. They kept doggedly pursuing the threads of Britain's history, and eventually arrived at the Priestess Prophecy. It was Britain's first prophecy of destruction, a curse left behind by the first human, the priestess of the enshrined deity. It predicted there would be 4 major wars named after the 4th season, but the War of Winter had not yet happened. They never did find out what it meant. Really, all we got from our expedition was a lot of fun memories. And while I know I've already written this down several times, let me remind you once again that this place took place Bay Era 400. Now, there were only a few days to go until the coronation of Londinium, which would decide the fate of all of Britain. And as one of the key figures in that coronation, Ask needed to return to the castle soon.
There, the needlework's all done. All I have to do now is make the embroidery motifs. I think I'll make a purple rose for Ask and a blue rose for Mash.
Let me see. You did a good job. I have no complaints. You've gone from crybaby to expert. This is why I love handicrafts. Although, I'm not sure about using embroidery for the brooch. Aya's going to be a queen, so she should have something that shines. I think a pattern of beads modeled after the world tree should do the trick. Here, give me that. Let me show you how it's done.
Whoa, have you always been that good with your hands, Black Knight? You're like some sort of sewing master. Tudora's changed so much since you came along, Mash. And it's all thanks to you. We've been together for hundreds of years, but I've never seen a side of her before. I really am a terrible friend. I was so caught in the fighting. I never even noticed what Tudora was going through, and she's always been there for me. Oh no, it was nothing. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time, that's all. And the only reason Tudora got interested in making clothes in the first place is the upcoming coronation. She said she wanted to make you a gown so pretty that you'd be the fairiest fairy in all of Britain. So I'm sure she would have gone on to become a great tailor, even if I've never shown up. He asked. Alright, I think you deserve to know at least a little of how I really feel. I'm no savior, Mash. All I want to do is keep Britain itself alive. I no longer have any intention of saving all its fairies, or of protecting humans like you. Huh? What are you saying? You are protecting everyone. I've seen it myself. Here's the thing, Mash. For the last 3,600 years, I've been dispelling the calamities that appear every 100 years, and the great calamities that appear every 1,000. Or, when I said I would let the fairies handle the aftermath and go to sleep in a coffin. Well, it wasn't the whole truth. The truth is, every time I saved them from a calamity, the fairies would come after me. I've never known a moment of true peace. The only thing I could ever do was run for my life and hibernate for years at a time. I'm sure that, at the start, I really did want to build an ideal nation. But not now. Not anymore. Every time I decide to work harder and finally get it right next time, I only ever end up having more stones thrown at me. I've been in prison, crucified, beheaded, drowned, burned. The only thing they haven't done is poison me. So by now, I've stopped putting my hopes in fairies. My only companions are Tudoran, the Black Knight, and Rhynek. I'm not even sure about Uther. Even they only see me as an important tool. Nothing more. So I only fight to protect Britain for myself. It's the only place I belong. That's why I'm going to unify the fairies and give humans the right to build a kingdom. That's the Britain I want. The sort of story proper human history will never allow. I've never been Aesk the Savior. I'm just Aesk the Witch.
But surely there must have been at least one good fairy, right? One who believed in you and understood you. Wasn't there ever a single fairy you genuinely wanted to help?
No, there wasn't. Not a single one. That's why things turned out this way. Mash, you came here from the era of the High Queen. I don't know which faction you belonged to in that time. I can never know, or if I did, that would change what happens in the future. I've been vacillating for a long time now about whether to kill you or save you. But I don't think it matters now. This is the Fey era, a history entirely of the Tree of Emptiness's making. And as long as that tree exists, anything goes in its Lostbelt. No matter what may be added to this world, it will simply adjust its history to match. Things don't have to make sense in the world with the Tree of Emptiness. The reason Morgan was so cavalier about using the water mirror to send things back in time to the Fey era is her awareness that nothing which changed in the Fey era will affect the start of the era of the High Queen.
So, you're saying worlds created by trees of emptiness can tolerate a fair number of discrepancy without falling apart?
That's right. That's why I'm here. The Fey era is the last point in time where things can be so wibbly-wobbly. The moment you spoke of the era of the High Queen, I had a flash of insight as to how the future must have played out. She must have used all the magical energy stored inside the Tree of Emptiness to transform this Lostbelt into a singularity. I still won't know why she chooses to do that until the time comes, of course. But in the meantime, Mash, I can tell you that you can only exist while the Fey era lasts. In 400 years, at the start of the era of the High Queen, you'll disappear whether you're still alive or dead. You do understand that, right?
Yes. I arrived in Britain in year 2019 of the era of the High Queen. Since I didn't exist in that era before that date, when the Tree of Emptiness dies...
I swear, that's because Fey era's history can be changed. That doesn't give her the right to send every problem she can't handle back to the past to let nature disappear it for her. And now she started sending servants as well as calamities. Unbelievable. Now that's just pathetic is what it is. So I guess the least I can do is make things right. Since I'm mixed up in all of this too, it's my responsibility to send you back to the future you came from.
Are you sure? No, wait. Is that even possible?
In a way, yes. It should work as long as there aren't any historical inconsistencies leading up to the calamity of Norwich in year 2019 of the era of the High Queen. So, how would you feel about hiding out at the farthest edge of the world, where no one would ever see you?
Alright, I guess I'm gonna have to call off for that stream. That was a great run for that. Almost nearing halfway done for Act 2 part. So I'll see you guys in the next part of Avalon Let's Bay for FGO live stream. So, peace out and have a good night.